Chris Eubank Jr.'s SMP is not the best. We already know that. It's been a while now. People have been discussing it all over the shop. But it begs the question, why isn't he doing something about it now? My theory, as an SMP artist who speaks to people with this kind of SMP all the time, is he actually likes it. That's one theory. There's two things here. Either one, he actually likes it. He doesn't see a big issue with it. He thinks, you know what? These guys are saying that it's saturated and whatever, but it does the job. I don't want it super light. I don't want it dusted. I know it's going to look more natural, but I actually like my hairline looking very pronounced. As much as we can argue to say it's too sharp, it's gone green, it's saturated, there are people out there that actually like this look, I promise you, because I speak to them often when they ask me for a top-up session and their head looks like that, and I tell them, no, you need to get it lasered first and then redo it properly. I get a lot of pushback, and the pushback is bringing me to reason number two, which is he probably knows he can get laser, but he doesn't want to go through losing his SMP and redoing it again, because it's not a quick process, 1 month and done. He can just wear a hat. He's going to have to go through, with his SMP, he's going to have to go through about 6 months worth of removing SMP, so he's going to look bald, and then redo it again, which is going to take minimum a month. So he's got 7 months there before he gets his natural look. Most people that come through are not willing to remove the old SMP and redo it again, just because of the time frame. Obviously the money is not an issue for Chris Eubank Jr., but that's sometimes an issue because the laser tattoo removal sessions are expensive, and then getting it redone by somebody who can make it look natural is usually more expensive than what they paid previously. Not always, but typically. So those are the two issues I think are going on. How he came to have it like that. Now, I think he had longer hair before, not long, but a little bit of something like a grade 1. And he had his SMP, I noticed, underneath the grade 1. So he had like a nice little grade 1 and a fade, and then he had SMP on the borders. So the hair at that length looked too obvious that it was SMP because he had longer hair, then he had a perfect flat hairline because SMP is 2D. It's meant to look like a shaved head, not a hairstyle. So if you haven't got the supporting hair around the edges, diffused thinning, or a hair transplant or something like that to mix in with it on the hairline and throughout, then it's going to look painfully obvious, or you're going to have like a double hairline going on where your natural hair is and then where your SMP starts, and it's a dead giveaway. So what did he do? He went and got more SMP, and that's when it started looking more saturated, and from that point everybody started talking about his SMP, saying how bad it was. Having a hair transplant and then doing a lot more SMP inside the hair transplant and trying your best as an SMP artist to make it dark because you're working on Chris Eubank Jr. and there's a lot of pressure. What can happen to them if they're not careful is they can make it too dark under the request of the client. They're not knowing that there are boundaries with SMP. They're just going, he's saying make it darker, okay, I'll make it darker, I'll make it more dense, and thus making it look how it looks, which is very unnatural. So I think a part of the issue is whoever did it kind of just took it too far and made it too dark because they were a bit scared that he wouldn't be happy with it and he wanted it to be a lot more pronounced. So they made a rookie mistake of making it way too dark and way too dense. And because he has a little bit of hair to mix in with it, they thought they could go a lot darker. And then I think what happened is they did that with the hair at like a 1 or even a 2, thinking that they could make it darker and make it more full. However, there wasn't enough supporting hair, and that's when they made the mistake of going so dark that when you shave it down, it looks terrible. And it shouldn't have been done so dark and so dense on a shaved head, because that's how he keeps it now. He's probably realized, you know what, I'm not gonna have another hair transplant, I'm just gonna buzz it down, and it's obviously revealed super dark, super dense SMP that doesn't look natural to look at. And he's just kind of gone with it. Or maybe he doesn't think it's too bad, so he's happy with it. I personally think it's one of the two or a combination of both. He doesn't want to go through with getting rid of it because he's come to kind of like it because he's got the hairline, and most people don't realize that he's got SMP. In his day-to-day life, I guarantee you, most people are not talking about his hairline. It's just us that are looking for SMP, or you guys, and us SMP artists that are going to notice that and make it a thing and make it a point to kind of get across that this is bad, don't try and copy this, and there is a better alternative. So yeah, man, I hope that helps. Drop in the comments what you think. Do you like his SMP? Do you think it looks all right? Do you think it's terrible? Like, what are your thoughts? Subscribe, because I need to get on here a lot more and start doing some landscape, proper YouTube videos. Anyway, man, hope you're good. If you've got any questions about SMP, of course, drop in my inbox, get at me on Hair Savvy Studio on all platforms, www.hairsavvystudio.co.uk. Have a blessed one.